Hey, what's up, you guys? Century Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Mandroid Build-A-Figure. So I actually just completed this guy today. In order to complete him, you got to collect the first half of the Captain America 2 Marvel Legends line, and of course the second half. And I was fortunate enough to grab the second half, courtesy of Brett Styles. Thanks so much, bro. Appreciate it. And I really like the second half. Real quick, if you guys want a size comparison, let me just throw him back there. Let's just get this out of the way. Here we got the Cap from the second half of the Captain America 2 line. Really great figure, man. What a great figure. You can see how big the Mandroid really is. Now, the Mandroid is basically an Ironmonger Build-A-Figure, just retooled, repainted. You can see, obviously, there's some differences as far as the chest, as far as the weapons that are attached to his arms. Obviously, he doesn't have the shoulder pads like Ironmonger, but you can see a resemblance in the legs. They're the exact same sculpt. Looks like part of the arms are the exact same sculpt as well, as opposed from the weapons he's got on there. But overall, it's basically just a retooled Ironmonger figure, and I got no problems with that because I love the Ironmonger figure that they came out with last year. It was just awesome. So let's talk about this guy real quick. As far as paint application, there's not really too much going on. It looks like it's just a solid piece of plastic that was silver. I'm trying to look in there. I don't really see any paint applications on the silver so much. But when you look at the yellow, especially on the visor, and he's got some yellow hints on his weapons right here, and of course right there. Looks like the yellow, I'm not sure if yellow's a hard figure or a hard paint to put on a figure, but it looks like it's dripping a little bit onto the black, or the black's dripping onto the yellow a little bit. Doesn't look like it's painted 100%, but then again, I don't believe that's Hasbro's fault. It's probably a QC issue, and let's just not even bring that up again because I've already talked about it a million times. And you can see a little bit of that problem on the visor there too, as the yellow's leaking onto the silver. But other than that, I mean, the paint applications for that yellow right there, it looks like there's some orange in there. Looks like there's dark yellow. There's a little bit of a lighter yellow in there. So you can tell they took the time to actually, go over that and paint it and put some definition in there, which is really nice. I mean, I really appreciate that. Just unfortunately, it didn't work out too much on these ones right here. But other than that, there's not too much going on with this figure paint-wise. As far as articulation, it's nothing we haven't seen before. Some of the stuff gets in the way, some of it's hindered, like I noticed right here on his big huge sword slash thing he's got going on. I don't even know what that is. It's awesome. Too bad we don't have these in real life. We probably win a war hella quick. But his hand doesn't seem, it looks like his hand does have a rotation right there, but I just can't seem to budge it because of this piece right here. You can see how the hand's kind of caught underneath that piece right there. If my light would show a little bit better. So that kind of sucks, but it doesn't have that problem over here with this double Gatling gun, which is awesome. And of course, you got the wires. I mean, there's lots of detail thrown onto this figure. Really cool. So that does have a range of motion right there, but you can just check out the back. You can see all the sculpting marks. It's got like a jetpack thing going on right there. Would have been cool if they had painted a little bit, like maybe some black definition in between these lines right here. But I understand where they're coming from. They're trying to focus on the figures that the Build-A-Figure pieces come with, as opposed to the actual Build-A-Figure, because it's pretty much a figure for free if you really think about it. Which is why I'm just so glad they brought back Build-A-Figures, man. I'm just so glad they brought back Build-A-Figures. But of course, you can see the shield emblem on his chest, which came out great. I don't see any smudges or anything falling onto anything else. Looks really great. And what a great Build-A-Figure to accompany the Captain America 2 line. It's just perfect. If you guys didn't know, he came out, his character was drawn in the 70s. And first came out in Avengers. So he's been around for a while. So I'm glad they finally got around to making this figure. So let's talk about the articulation real quick. I have had a problem with the head here. First off, it's hella hard to snap in there. Let me take this off. This is one of the accessories that comes with him. And he just snaps in right there in that little peg hole right there. But first off, you gotta snap this in there. And remember, when you're putting a Build-A-Figure together, you better know which piece is going in where, because once they go in, most likely they don't come out. So I stuck this in there. I put a good bit of pressure on there. And once he snaps in, it doesn't go anywhere. Let me tell you, the head at least. So I've been using these ridges, and I've been using my fingernails to kind of move his head accordingly to what pose I have him in. Little difficult, but other than that, no big deal. Most likely I'm going to have him looking forward anyway, so it's alright. But I did have a problem with that. But as far as the rest of articulation, he does have a abdomen swivel, which it's amazing that they got that in there, especially with how bulky this chest piece is. But that goes forward and back, left and right. And then, of course, we go down to the legs, and it's got that swivel right there that goes up and down. Double jointed knees right there on both. And then, of course, we go into the feet. And I always really like the feet on the Ironmonger figure, because you can get them in such good poses, especially with the range of motion, and especially with that pivot. That pivot is just so important to these figures, and I'm so glad that they followed through with it onto the bigger figures. So there's a pivot right there. This goes up and down, 360-degree turn. I mean, it's got the whole nine, which is great. You go into the arms here, and like I said, this is a little bit hindered by this big piece of plastic right here, but as far as that goes, this turns 360 degrees, even though you can't really since it's attached. And then, of course, we go up into the arm, and the arm goes 360 degrees right here. I don't believe, maybe I just got to snap it out of place, but I don't believe there's a bicep swivel right there. But correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like there's not. I did run into a problem, though, with my cap review, saying the waist didn't swivel, and it actually did. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this... Nope, does not move. I'm solving my own problems here. So that does actually not move, which is good. Well, it's not good, but I can see where they were coming from, why it doesn't move, since this wire's attached to the front right here. Makes sense. So sometimes you got to give up a piece of articulation for the better of the figure, which is really cool. But let's check out these accessories, man. First off, all of his accessories come with these yellow hints, and we were just talking about how they were mixing the yellows with the oranges. And these are some dope weapons. Look, he's got the double Gatling gun. I mean, just fully detailed. Even the inside pieces of the articulation on this guy are detailed, or sculpted, I mean. This is great. This is just a great figure. I mean, what a great mold to use for a Mandroid. I mean, I couldn't have chosen a better mold myself. This is just awesome. You can even see all the sculpting marks on the hands. Look at the gun. The gun's been painted beautifully. I mean, they are starting to get everything down. All the fans' quarrels with them, everything that the fans have bad to say about them, they're getting it all right. And I appreciate that Hasbro's taking all of this into consideration. They really are. They're doing great. So you can see how well painted this figure is, and how well sculpted it is, which is really nice. And you can even see some definition inside of there, which is really nice. So a really cool gun. Then you come over to here, this huge sword, Jaws of Life weapon. I don't even know what this is, but I definitely wouldn't want to be on the other end of it. That's for sure. This is just awesome. I don't even know what this is, and it just looks like some sword, like axe combination that's powered by the Tesseract. I don't know what this stuff is, but I mean, it looks awesome. It really does. What a cool figure. And of course, we got this other gun right here, which is optional. You don't have to have it if you don't want, which is really cool. I mean, overall, it's just a really, really awesome figure. Lots of detail thrown into it. It's a free figure, man. You buy the whole series and you get a free figure. I mean, you just can't beat that. You really can't. And that's why I'm just so happy that Hasbro reintroduced the Build-A-Figures with the return of Marvel Legends last year, which was just awesome. So overall, I would say I would highly recommend getting this Mandroid. Like I said, it's a free figure, beautifully painted, beautifully sculpted, lots of articulation, especially for a figure of its size. And overall, I just give it a solid 9 out of 10. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for those paint leaking on there. But I give Hasbro a 10 out of 10. I give the factories in China that made the figure a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, this is Century Productions, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
The video is over. Subscribe, damn it.